Hey, it's Anthony, and today I just wanted to tell you 5 productivity tips that you can use for a writer, especially. As a writer. Now, you could use these tips for if you're not a writer, but since I'm technically a writer, we're just gonna go with that. All right. So the first thing I want to tell you that what I do when I write a blog post is that I like to create a plan of action the day before. And what I found out is that when I put that down, just write it in a journal, just like jot down some notes of what I'm actually gonna write tomorrow, then when I actually jump into whatever I'm gonna write for that day, I notice that I'm like, what if I don't do it? I'm like, crap, I don't want to write and I don't know what to write. But then if I actually plan it out the day before, what I realize is that I'm like, okay, all right, let's do this. Let me sit down. I don't want to write, but at least I know what I planned, or at least I know what I have an idea of what to write. And that's basically the idea. What you want to do is you just want to do that, put a bada bing, bada boom, have some sort of plan of action, which leads to my tip number 2, which is whenever you create some sort of writing, you want to have an outline of what you're going to write. What I mean is, let's say you're writing a blog post, you just want to, jot some ideas down, just go boom, 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 heading 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And what that does is it starts jogging your brain. It starts like digging up the information. It's like, all right, Mr. Brain, we're going to have you figure out what you want to write. And what I notice is that if if I don't really like the outline, let's say I wrote like 10 outlines of like meditation. I'm like, all right, meditation brings you health benefits. Meditation brings you, it makes you happier. But then I'm like, during my writing, I'm like, it doesn't really flow to make meditation makes me happier. Maybe I'll change it up. What it does is it allows you to think about, okay, maybe I could use this heading somewhere else, or maybe I could figure out something that flows smoother. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into the flow of writing. Just keep writing down. Just keep thinking of ideas of how to make this piece sound better. And that's really what it comes down to whenever you're trying to, create something. When I try to talk about productivity, what I mean is trying to get your best writing as fast as possible. And what I've noticed is that instead of trying to squeeze the couple minutes that you have with your writing, I found it better if it's, you squeeze. Sure, it's good to like squeeze every ounce a minute, but it's better to spend, maybe 10 minutes of planning and then use an hour of really good quality work that you can use versus, 1 hour and 50 minutes of just, maybe some of it's good, maybe like 50 minutes of it's good, but then the rest of the 60 minutes, it's just when you're just squeezing out everything, it just doesn't work. This leads me to my third point, which is whenever you're just stumbling on something, there's a thing that people call writer's block. And it's basically when you're just sitting down and you just have no clue what to write. Now, I've read both sides. One side that says it's really good to just write down whatever's in your head. Just write down whatever comes in your mind, even if it's crap. Just keep writing and writing and writing. And what happens is after that like mountain of poop that you just wrote, there's usually like a couple of diamonds or like a couple of unpolished diamonds that you can use and give you ideas on what to write next. Whereas the other side says, it's like, all right, I did that, I wrote everything, and what happened was it took me 2 hours of editing that mountain of poop to actually make it sound kind of decent. And what I found out was after trying out both sides is I think it's better to lean more towards writing whatever comes in your head because for me specifically, I start procrastinating. I'm like, okay, if I start thinking, and then I'll start thinking this way, and then this way, and this way, and it really leads to me just not doing anything, which makes me think about it's better to execute something that's trashy rather than to just keep thinking on in terms of writing. It's better to execute on something that's kind of trashy, where you're writing just a bunch of trash. Hopefully something good comes out versus just thinking for a couple hours and then strategizing what the best sentence would be. Because I noticed that I'm not the best writer, but when I keep writing out, just keep writing whatever comes to my head, I end up with like a couple paragraphs that seems, pretty decent. And I'm like, all right, let's keep this, and let's do the next paragraph. And then after a while, once I get to this flow, it just keeps going on, and then boom, I got a whole 2,000 word article, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. All right. For the fourth tip, the thing I want to tell you is you want to have a semi-clear desk. Now, the reason why I say semi-clear desk is because I tried going OCD, just having nothing but my laptop, my keyboard, my gamer glasses. I'm just like, all right, I got this. I'm going to focus on writing with a completely clean desk. And what I found out was I didn't do any writing. So I came up with, so I read this book, So I read this book, John Carlton. What happened was he likes to have a completely messy desk. And what he says is that it makes it, when you're doing a creative job like writing, what it does is it helps, juggle the idea, and it just creates a familiar existence for a creative type people to just have a messy desk. Now, I kind of got it from my mom. I can't have a completely messy desk. But what I like to do is I like to have everything prepared so that whenever I have any thoughts or just, notes or anything that pops up, it's just right there. I don't have to go reaching everywhere. All right, let me show you what my desk looks like. So this is what my desk looks like. I have some paper over there, a calendar, some notes. It's not like completely messy, but it's not super duper clean. It's just, whenever I'm writing, I have some notes right there to take down, or if I want to listen, to put some headphones, maybe focus. And then if my fingers get tired, I have have a keyboard right there and a crossball. Yeah. So try both. Try both a clean desk, try both a messy desk, see what works for you. I found my mix, my best productivity was just having it right in the in-between. And the final thing I want to say for you writers or people who already know that whenever you're trying to write something in the beginning of the day, that you just come out of bed, you get ready, you're getting ready for the day, and then you just sit down, you're about to write, and then for some reason you just can't get into it. I'm sure if you're a writer, you have experienced this, but you're just sitting down there, and you're like, all right, let's get some work done. Let's get a productive day. Let's do it. Let's do this. And then you just sit down and you just can't work. And it kind of sucks. But what happens is it's a sort of, it's like right before writer's block. Writer's block is where you have no clue what to write. This is more like I don't know how to say it, like discipline maybe? Yeah, it's probably discipline. But whatever happens is there's some sort of magical force field that doesn't let me go write whatever I want to write for the day and make myself feel good because I was a productive person. And it kind of blows. It kind of blows, man. And what I found out was one of the ways to do this is, so one way is you can be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to write only 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, all right? And I tried this before, and even though it's easier to get into, it's still hard because what happens is you have to trick yourself into writing for 5 minutes. And what you'll end up happening is if you enjoy writing, hopefully you do. Hopefully you're watching this video because you enjoy writing, you want to become more productive. Anyways, what happens is you're gonna start getting into the groove. You'll be like, all right, 5 minutes, it feels pretty good, just only 5 minutes. You're lowering the amount of whatever, the activation energy of starting to write. And what happens is you'll be like, okay, all right, let's do this. And you'll be like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and you'll get into a groove and you'll write for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe for a guide, maybe 4 hours straight. Be like, boom, you got writing done. Only problem is you have to tell yourself, and instead of writing 4 hours for the day, you have to tell yourself 5 minutes. The way I like to do it is, it sounds really stupid. I saw in a YouTube video, basically what you do is you sit down at your desk and you tell yourself, all right, I'm going to count down from 5 to 1 like a NASA rocket, and at 1, I'm going to start writing whatever I want. And so that's what you do. You go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just jump right into it. It sounds completely stupid. It sounds really dumb. And then you just imagine yourself as like a NASA rocket in your head, just shooting off into space. That's actually what I do sometimes when I just can't get out of bed. You just count from 5 to 1, and you just go into it. And what you'll notice is that you're you're just like a rocket going towards your dream of becoming a productive person. All right, that's it for today. Hopefully you found something useful. Maybe you found it entertaining, dumb, whatever. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.